It's the 1930s and the Depression is hitting hard. Prohibition has come in, so now everything is done underground through speakeasies. One drunk man seems like a perfect target for a life insurance scam. But no matter what you try, he just won't die. Heyo, and welcome to another episode of the Darkives. I'm Jamie talking to Leo.
And I'm Leo listening to Jamie.
And this week we are talking about Iron Mike Malloy.
This is a good story. I know this story.
You do?
I do.
It's so good.
It's very fun. Basically an Irishman with a bulletproof stomach.
Yep. Yep, that's pretty much the gist of it. But even though you know it, hopefully I can still teach you something new about it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard the story. I know the gist of it, but yeah, I'd love to deep dive into it for sure. But before we get into it, I just want to say to everybody who subscribes to the show, follows the show, big thank you to you guys. If you've hung around for a few episodes, hitting us with a rating or sharing it with a friend that you think would like it. Every like and share helps the show tremendously, and we appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Well, with the pleasantries out of the way, you ready to get on to Mr. Malloy?
I am so ready for Iron Mike.
All right. Michael Malloy was an absolute mystery to everyone who knew him, including even himself. Guessed to be somewhere in age around 60, he had no friends, no family, and he was known as just the drunken regular at the speakeasy. The speakeasy was owned by a man named Tony Marino. He will be a key figure in this story. Michael Malloy was from County Donegal or County Donegal? Donegal. Sounds right? Ireland?
Sure.
Donegal? And he was a former firefighter, but that is pretty much all we know about him. At this time, we're in the 1930s, early 1930s, and America is in the death grip of the Great Depression, and Prohibition is going strong. Prohibition was the restriction of alcohol, so they pretty much made alcohol illegal here. Thanks to that, speakeasies opened up, which were hidden bars.
Yeah, like secret bars.
Secret bars where people could bring in moonshine or other homemade alcohol. So, kind of a shady business, but, you know, they're making do. 27-year-old Tony Marino owned a speakeasy called The Mermaid on 3rd Avenue in New York City. He was acquainted with two other men, 29-year-old Daniel Kreisberg and 24-year-old Frank Pasqua. Marino watched as day after day, Michael Malloy would come in and ask for, quote, "another mornin's mornin' if you don't mind," and then drink until he proceeded to pass out onto the floor.
Hell yeah, Molloy.
He was an alcohol through and through.
He was an alcohol.
He was a bottle of alcohol, can you believe? He was an alcoholic through and through. Molloy used to be able to drink on a tab, but he had stopped paying and business was not looking good for Marino. In July of 1932, Pasqua, Kreisberg, and Marino were sitting down just having a round when Pasqua asked Marino, quote, "why don't you take out insurance on Molloy? I can take care of the rest."
Yep, the boys are planning on a little insurance fraud.
Mm-hmm. Shady men doing shady things.
On old Iron Mike. Do we know he's Iron Mike yet? Have we said Iron Mike?
I might have in the intro. You can keep calling him Iron Mike. The title name will be Iron Mike. How about that? So nobody's surprised by you calling him that. Pasqua was an undertaker, and so he kind of knew the people that could help out with this scam a little bit, you know? Now, this idea wasn't too far-fetched. Marino, just the year before, had taken out an insurance policy on a homeless woman named Mabel Carson. Or maybe Maybell.
Maybe Mabel.
Mabelle.
Maybell.
Maybell? We'll call her Maybell. Maybell Carlson. Now, the price of this little insurance was for about $2,000, which today would equal to a little over $48,000. Marino was named as the beneficiary on the policy. But he wasn't a patient man. He wasn't going to wait for nature to take its course. So, one night, when it was nice and chilly outside, he force-fed her alcohol until she passed out, stripped her down naked, poured ice water all over her naked body, then proceeded to pour it on the sheets, pushed the bed under an open window, and let nature take its course that way.
Pretty brutal.
Have you ever heard of anything that fucking crazy?
No, froze her to death, though.
Yeah.
That was new to me. I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, he fucking froze her. She, of course, died from this, and the cause of death was listed as bronchial pneumonia. Don't know how they couldn't tell she was covered in fucking ice like a frozen steak, but pneumonia it is. Marino got all the money from this policy, and no questions were asked. So, doing this to Mike would be no shit off his shit. He's done it before, he'll do it again, you know?
Yeah, easy. Make some money.
Yeah, we're in the Great Depression, do what you can. Daniel Kreisberg was, he's just kind of there. He was a grocer and a father of 3, and he would later say that he was only part of this insurance scam just to help his family out. Now, with the 3 men on board for this plot, the plan was to have Pasqua pay an unnamed acquaintance to go with him to various insurance companies, claiming to be a man named Nicholas Malloy. After 5 months, they did manage to get 3 different life insurance policies from 2 different companies on the unknowing Mike Malloy. They equaled out to about $3,576, which today the equivalent would be almost $84,000.
Which seems kind of like a waste, because how do you claim an insurance claim with a false name?
Because it's the 1930s and there's no background checks or anything. Anybody could be anybody, you know?
You just walk up and say, I'm him, give me money.
Yeah, this is my friend, Mr. Malloy. He wants an insurance policy. And then when he's dead, have 2 people say, yep, that's Malloy.
I see.
2 of the policies came from Prudential Life Insurance, and the other one came from Metropolitan Life Insurance. They all offered double indemnity if the death was an accident. So,
we're looking for an accidental death.
We're looking for an accidental death because then they pay twice as much. Now, some more men get roped into the plan here. One of them is the bartender of the speakeasy, Mr. Joseph Murphy. His job was to identify Molloy and claim to be the next of kin to get the money. The other ones, somehow included into this murder trust, as the press would later dub them, was John McNally, Edward Tin-Ear Smith, Tough Tony Bastone, and Joseph Maglione.
Couple of Italian crooks.
I do love a fun nickname. Tough Tony, Tin-Ear. That's very fun to me. Now, the problem with bringing all these guys in is that the pot is getting smaller. We're spreading it out more, so now everybody is getting a smaller amount. But either way, now the policies are done. The next step of this plan was to have Molloy simply drink himself to death. Seems easy enough.
Yeah, he's a drunk. He's gonna drink.
Drinker's gonna drink. Marino gave Molloy the go-ahead to drink for free at the speakeasy, claiming that competition from other places had forced him to ease up on the rules a little bit. Molloy was just simply delighted with this proposition, and he got to it. Quote, Molloy had been a hard drinker all his life, and he drank on and on and on, end quote. The article I read for this actually said that Marino's arm got sore from holding the bottle so much and pouring for him. But our boy, he remained steady. He drank all day, got up, thanked Marino, and said he'd be back, which he was the next day. For 3 days, Molloy drank the bar out, only stopping to eat some complimentary sardine sandwiches.
Weren't these sardine sandwiches laced with something?
It will be eventually, yes.
Oh, they're not right now?
Nope, right now they're banking on him drinking himself to death. We're not doing anything fucking crazy yet.
I mean, this is pretty fucking crazy.
Well, yes, yeah. But we do get crazier. Everyone watching this was just fucking gobsmacked. Surely he would die. A little drunken tumble? Maybe he'll choke on his vomit? Maybe his liver will just simply fail? Anything? But nope. Day 4 came around, and in came Molloy crying out, "Boy, ain't I got a thirst." Just very fun to me. He's funny. He's a funny guy.
He's just a drunken Irishman who's hit the lottery, basically. He's got free booze for the rest of his days.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna capitalize on that.
Yeah, he fucking does, and God love him for it. But at this point, I do imagine that Marina was starting to get a little bit nervous because, I mean, it costs money to get the alcohol in, and he's just giving it away for free. Marina's starting to lose money at this point. The other men, also at this time, were starting to get impatient. They just wanted to get it over with, essentially, you know?
Yeah, I want my cut.
Yeah, I want my money, and I'm tired of watching this dude live his best fucking life. Tough Tony suggested that they just shoot Molloy in the head to get it over with, but bartender Murphy came up with the idea of just adding various poisons to his drinks. They used antifreeze, turpentine, and even rat poison.
All of which will kill you.
Not this man. He kept drinking.
Not Iron Mike.
Nope. Next, they stopped mixing the drinks and were just serving him straight up antifreeze. He kept going. "Thank you, sir. Can I have another?" There is some science actually behind why he was able to survive all this.
Was it something like the alcohol canceled out the poisonous effects of the antifreeze?
Yes, that is exactly what it was. The drinking alcohol, it blocks the ingredient in antifreeze, the ethylene glycol. So they're feeding him this regular alcohol to start him out with and then switching him over to the poison. But at that point, he's got a little natural blocker.
Yeah, the alcohol's neutralizing it and he's just pissing it right out.
Yeah, exactly. But because of this, now they started serving straight up wood alcohol.
Varnish.
Yeah, it's literally just methanol.
Is that what that is, varnish? I just looked it up because I wasn't sure if wood alcohol and varnish are the same thing, and they are not. Varnish is a protective coating, and the wood alcohol is a solvent used to dissolve finishes on wood.
So it's probably not something you want to be ingesting.
No, I wonder what the difference between that and paint thinner is.
No, don't look that up. We're going through this.
Well, Jamie wants a short episode, I guess. So why don't you just keep on jiving?
I'm gonna punch you right in your taint.
This probably doesn't hear anything. Whispering, I've noticed on the recordings, whispering's like cuts out, like our low end on the thing is not good.
Good, then you can't prove anything I just said.
Nope.
I'm gonna punch you right in your taint. Drinks that had just 4% wood alcohol in them would blind somebody. Just 4% of the drink being wood alcohol. And they weren't mixing his drinks anymore. They were just giving it to him straight up. The inhuman and absolutely incredible Mike drank it all. He would take shots of wood alcohol and then ask for more. Day after day, they would start Mike out with some regular alcohol and then switch it over to the just straight up wood alcohol. Quote, he drank all the wood alcohol he was given and came back for more.
He's a legend.
He is the coolest dude. This is fucking incredible.
Yeah, if there was an award for being a drunk, Molloy would get it.
Nobody on God's green earth could take him. Yeah. He is drinking poison and asking for more.
Yeah, he's out drinking everybody.
Yeah. I'm concerned that they're trying to kill a god.
Yeah, maybe. He's some kind of Irish demigod.
They're trying to kill a supernatural figure.
Yeah, his organs need to be studied.
Yeah, I know. Autopsy this man and save it for science. Finally, one night he's pounding his poison, and then he just crumples. Just fell straight to the ground.
He's not dead yet, though. Don't worry, guys.
The men surrounded him, thinking that this was finally it. They had done it. They had killed him. His breath was slow, sounded a bit labored, and then he took in one shaky, big breath, and they were like, oh my god, this is it. That's the death rattle. Like, he's done.
And then he burped, farted, and stood back up for another.
Even better, started snoring. He fully...
Just needs a nap.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. He took a little nap.
He's like a honey badger.
Yes. Yeah.
He got bit by a cobra and he's just gonna sleep it off.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. A few hours later, he woke up and asked for more. He is a honey badger. What a beautiful comparison.
Yeah, that's exactly what that reminded me of. And for anybody who doesn't know, that's a legitimate fact. Honey badgers can get bit by king cobras and just sleep it off like nothing happened.
Yeah. And
they're freaks.
That's Molloy, taking his poison, sleeping it off. Next in their idiotically dastard little plan, they decided to soak some oysters in denatured alcohol. Now, do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's the alcohol that's used for disinfectants, fuels, all that jazz. Not drinking alcohol, but disinfecting alcohol.
Yes, yeah. So they were soaking the oysters in this, and then they planned on feeding him those bad alcohol oysters.
And he's just going to have the cleanest insides you ever did see.
Well, they soaked the oysters for a few days and then fed them to him with his wood alcohol shots. I want to point out, a few days these oysters soaked, and the whole time they're feeding him poison.
That's why they call him Iron Mike.
Yeah, this is why.
It's almost a shame that they called Mike Tyson Iron Mike Tyson.
Kind of takes away from our boy, Mr. Malloy.
Yeah, there was only one Iron Mike. And Mike Tyson, I love you, dude. One of the greatest ever. If you ever listen to this podcast, which you probably won't.
Yes, he will.
Maybe he will.
Mm-hmm. Be proud. Be confident.
Now, Keith. But,
Yeah, he could never take Mike Malloy.
Oh, he could have whooped his ass, but he couldn't outdrank him.
Mm-mm.
Iron-bellied Mike Malloy.
They both have their strengths, and they would kill the other one in their strengths. The oysters, though, they fed them to him with his poison shots, and he was fine. Ate them all, asked for some more shots. New plan. Now, we're going to leave a tin of sardines out to rot. Then, with our little rotten sardines, we're going to mix in some shrapnel, like carpet tacks, and make Molloy a tasty little death sandwich.
These are the sandwiches I remember.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny is you probably could have fed him a bowl full of kale and he would have died.
Yeah.
You give him some, like, organic greens and he would have been, like, his body been like, gone into fucking shock
Yeah.
over it.
Yep. But what shouldn't come as a surprise to any of us by now is that Molloy finished his sandwich and again asked for another.
He's all gums bleeding, like, man, well, it's rude to complain about a free sandwich, right? So, can I get another one of those?
Yeah, which leads me to believe that he was not chewing his food. He was just swallowing that bitch, huh?
I guess. Yeah, how you dodge tacks in your mouth.
With skill. With pure precision.
He's all, damn, the chips. The chips you put in the sandwich are scratchy, dude.
Boys, you scraped that tin a bit too much.
My goodness.
Now the men were truly worried. It seems like, to me, more of a pride thing than anything at this point. Like, now they just have to kill him because he's a folktale. He is a demigod. He is a supernatural being and is unkillable. They have tried everything.
Well, this barkeep's probably spent his portion in just trying to kill him. His piece of the pie.
Yeah, and not only that, but they have to pay on these policies every month. That's how you keep them active. They are losing so much money out of this. So one night, Marino and Pasqua threw an unconscious Molloy into the back seat of Pasqua's little roadster and drove him to a park. Calling back on his killing of Maybell? Is we agreed on that pronunciation?
Maybell.
Calling back on his killing of Maybell Carlson, Marino decided to just freeze Molloy to death. So they took him to a park, plopped him down on a park bench, took off his shirt, and poured some water on his body. The temperature that night was recorded to be around -15 Fahrenheit or -26 degrees Celsius. So, for fucking sure, cold enough to freeze a man to death.
Yeah, but he's chock full of antifreeze. He can't freeze.
That was really stupid.
He's getting antifreeze in his veins.
That is so funny. Yeah, you're right. Well, you might actually be onto something there, because the next morning, Marino found Molloy in the basement of the speakeasy complaining of a wee chill. He had somehow walked the half-mile from the park back to the speakeasy in freezing temperatures and fucking hammered. Had no memory of the guys doing this to him. He was passed out drunk when they took him there.
Yeah, well, that's part of being blackout drunk, right? He's so used to being blackout drunk that he wakes up on a park bench with, I guess, iced up nipples because of the water that was poured on him. He's like, ah, fuck. Oh, I best go get some whiskey in me and warm up real quick.
You know what would make this right? Some poison.
Yeah, that's Wednesday for Mike Malloy.
Yeah, because he didn't question shit.
Okay, he's like, this is normal.
Oh, fuck, I'm here again. As February came, remember, this plan was hatched in July and put into motion in about October. We are now rounding into February.
4 months of trying to kill the unkillable man.
Yeah. Again, not quite sure how the thought didn't cross their mind that they were killing a god. But, you know, I guess I have the benefit of not a greedy lens in front of my eyes, you know?
Not a greedy lens.
Yeah, you can cut that.
I thought you were going to say like hindsight or something.
No, I don't know. I don't know where I was going. Cut it. Don't embarrass me.
Okay.
Now, as February came, the men became desperate because they didn't want to have to make another payment to the policy. So, again, we have to make it look like an accident. And this time we're going to go with a car accident. Another man gets pulled into the mix here, and he is John Maglione's friend, Harry Green, who was a cab driver. He agreed to run over Molloy for $150, the equivalent of about $3,600. What the fuck, dude? Well, with this agreement, the men set off. Everyone piled into the cab with Molloy, blacked out, and they drove a few blocks away. Baston and Murphy took Molloy down the street and held him up by his arms while Green started to speed towards them. So they're kind of holding him like Jesus on the cross, kind of T-posing, you know? Maglione in the car saw a flash of light out of the corner of his eye and ordered the cab to stop. Turns out it was probably just someone turning a light on in their home, but rather safe than sorry when you're killing a man.
Yeah.
So again, the men in the street held Molloy up, and again, Green drove the cab toward them. Not one time, but 2 times, Molloy managed to jump out of the way of the car at the last second.
He's looking like a damn matador out there, drunk and just twirling, twirling away from the cab.
Yeah.
He's all waving his jacket, like, come get somebody.
Completely fucking hammered.
Yeah.
And he's avoiding a car. He is incredible. I love him.
But
finally, on the fourth attempt, quote, Green raced toward Molloy at 50 miles per hour. With every second, Molloy loomed larger in the windshield. 2 thuds, one loud and one soft, the body against the hood, then dropping to the ground. For good measure, Green backed up over him.
Iron Mike became a speed bump.
Yeah. And I mean, this was it. They thought they had finally punched his ticket. But the problem was that they didn't have time to double check if he was dead because there was the sound of another car coming, so they had to speed away. But either way, ran over him twice, left him for dead in the middle of the road. So now they wait, and they wait, and they wait.
A few days later,
for 5 days, there was absolutely no news of an anonymous dead man found in the street. Joseph Murphy, who was the bartender pretending to be next of kin for Nicholas Malloy, was tasked with calling around to hospitals and morgues looking for him, but nothing. No news anywhere that he looked.
And they turned around and on the bar stool sat.
Well, on the 5th day, Marino was already plotting to kill someone else, literally anyone else, to pass them off as Malloy, when in walked Mr. Iron Mike Malloy himself.
He hath risen.
And on the 5th day,
drunken Irish Jesus was reborn. This man's a legend.
I am truly enamored at his absolute fucking tenacity for life. He is unlike anybody else. But he came in, quote, I sure am dying for a drink. He greeted them, and he sat down at the bar. He couldn't remember really anything of the night, just a few flashes here and there, but he was bandaged up and ready to continue. February 21st of 1933. They were over it. The gang was completely tired of fucking around and trying to make it look like an accident, so they took Molloy to Joseph Murphy's room, inserted a rubber hose into his mouth, connected it to a gas light fixture, and turned it on. The rubber hose was secured in Molloy's mouth by a towel that was wrapped around his face. And finally, the man, the myth, the god, the legend passed away.
There wasn't a liquid.
Excuse?
There wasn't a liquid around that could stop this man.
Nope.
But you get gas involved, lights out.
Yeah, nothing physical on this earth could kill him. No cars, no ice, no poison. They had to go with the invisible killer, you know? But they got him. They fucking got him. Now, thanks to Pasqua's working friend, remember he's an undertaker, so he knew a man named Dr. Frank Manzella, and he agreed to fabricate a death certificate with pneumonia being listed as the cause of death. After all this fucking effort and the senseless killing of the God Among Us, the gang was awarded a measly $800 from Metropolitan Life Insurance. That is the equivalent of about $19,000.
Split between slow down, Leo. Split between how many men?
I think 9. About 9 men.
A little over $2,000 a piece.
Yeah. Worth it, boys? Worth it to kill a science anomaly? Fucking idiots.
I seem to remember this not going good for the remaining members of, I I thought it was Murder Inc., but I guess it's Murder what? The Murder Trust.
Yeah, maybe Murder Inc. as well. They could have been called that as well. It's just from what, the sources that I used called them Murder Trust.
I remember, I might be remembering this incorrectly because I did not do the research on this. I just know the story secondhand. But yeah, I seem to remember them being called Murder Inc. back in the day.
Yeah, that could have been another nickname. It's just in the sources that I found it was Murder Trust, but you are correct about it not working out for them too well, but hold that thought. When Pasqua went to the Prudential office for the other 2 life insurance policies to be paid out, the insurance people requested to see the body. And now, perhaps a little too hastily, Pasqua responded saying that the body had already been buried. Can't see it, he's in the ground. Don't fucking worry about it. They would not be receiving that payout from Prudential.
No body, no check.
Exactly. And now whether it was Prudential who raised the alarms, or whether it was the whispers of the Irish Rasputin that were beginning to circulate the town, the police caught wind of it and opened an investigation. Almost immediately, all the men started talking. Harry Green, who was the cab driver, was already in jail for carrying a gun, but Pasqua, Marino, Kreisberg, and Murphy were all tried and found guilty of first-degree murder. The 4 main members of the murder trust were sent to Sing Sing prison, and they all got the chair. Now, the article that I read, really kind of snazzy. Well, that's interesting.
What a weird word, snazzy.
Snazzy. Snappy and sassy. Snazzy. The article that I read, kind of sassy. The article said something along the lines of, they all got the chair and it killed them the first time.
Yeah.
Snap.
Yeah. They were pretty bad at the first time killing.
They were pretty bad at fucking killing in general. They tried, well, I guess in their defense, anybody other than anybody other than Iron Mike would have fucking died. But they didn't realize that they were playing with a god.
Yeah, they fucked with the wrong one. And Murder Trust became Murder Bust.
Snap. Fucking so snappy tonight. Incredible. Well, that's it. That's it. Thoughts, views, and opinions?
Yeah, like I said, I've heard that story before. I love the Iron Mike story. Did hear some new stuff in there this time.
Yay.
Which is cool. But like my big takeaway though is like put yourself in the shoes of Mike. He thought he was going to a place. He thought he was going to his version of Cheers, you know?
Yeah.
He thought he was going hanging out with buddies, and he thought he was getting the hookup because they liked him, and he gets to hang out whenever he wants and drink for free, and they were feeding him for free, and they threw him over their shoulders and walked around town with him, even though he blacked out and forgot about getting hit by cars and getting his nipples frozen off on park benches. But he was just one of the boys. He really thought he was hanging out with friends.
And he was hanging out with his killers. That is a really fucking sad.
For months, these guys were trying to kill him, and he was like, "What's up, guys?" Like, what the fuck?
Oh, that's actually a really fucking sad takeaway.
That's what happened.
Yeah, it is. No, you're 100% right, but I mean, break my fucking heart, Mike.
Yeah, it'd be easy if Mike was like an asshole. He's like, "Oh yeah, fuck these guys. I'm gonna take them for everything they got." No, he was showing up like, "Man, I'm thirsty. What's up, guys? How you doing?" Oh yeah, these shitty sandwiches you make. Bring me another one because you're my friend. I'll eat it again.
He was so polite.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, he takes a shot of the fucking turpentine. He's all, "Yeah, that's good. Give me another one." It's like Dente's like, "Shit, but I ain't gonna tell him. He's my friend."
Oh my God. Well, you know, guys, it's Friday. If you're having a drink tonight, this weekend, whatever,
raise a glass to Iron Mike.
Raise a glass to our boy. Pour one out for a god among men taken down by little fuckers, his friends.
Irish Rasputin, Irish Jesus,
Iron Mike, Mike Malloy.
The GOAT.
The all-time GOAT. Pour one out for our boy this weekend, guys. And with that, you guys can follow us on Instagram or send us an email, both of which are linked down in the show description. Thank you very much for being here with us, and we will see you again next week for another episode of the Darkives.
You did 3 different voices there.
Was it intriguing?
I mean, I guess. Shit, we'll keep it in. All right, we'll see you guys.
Goodbye! I'm concerned that these men really did not take proper advantage of the situation ahead of them.
How so?
They could have fucking had people pay to watch this man drinking that.
Oh, shit, yeah, if they charged admission, they could have charged people to go up against Iron Mike.
They fucked it so bad.
A quarter if you can outdrink Iron Mike, shot for shot.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta sign this life insurance policy first because he might kill you,
Yeah.
And then they feed everyone the paint thinner and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they fucked it. They could have been rich.
Yeah, they could have killed like 30 guys using Mike.
Yes, exactly.
All right, I don't know what's staying, what's not. So see you guys next week.